Exploring Old League of Legends. 13 lat później. No dobra, zobaczmy.
League of Legends. Back when Riot Games was an actual small indie company, League of Legends has been one of the biggest games in the world for almost a decade plus now. The one thing I realized after talking to my friends is that everyone started their league journey at a different time, and I know someone who started as early as season 1.
It's me. I'm
But a lot of my friends didn't
Jezu, ta Liga Legend teraz tak dziwnie wygląda. Ale wtedy jak się w to grało, no to była kurde, świeżutka gierka, nie?
start until way after season 5. For reference, Echo wasn't released until season 5, Jin wasn't released until season 6, and Kaisa is one of the most popular champions, and she wasn't released until season 8.
Yes.
And in this series, guys, I want to go back in time to old League of Legends to show you guys how it was, depending on if you never played it before or if you've been an OG in the past. Hopefully this series will give you guys a good feel of how League of Legends was and how it was like to play League of Legends back in the day. And there's no better place to start than when I started League of Legends, and that's all the way back in season 2. So strap in and let's go back. Welcome
Sezon
to
drugi.
November 2011. Season 2 just dropped for League, and also the president is currently black. And oh yeah, didn't people think the world was gonna end at the end of
Tam może napisy jakieś? Ej, czekaj, są napisy?
2012 because some ancient civilization ran
Kto
out
wygra trzecią mapę? Nie mam pojęcia. Nie wiem, kto to wygra. Obie drużyny dobrze dzisiaj grają.
of space on the calendar. That's crazy. And back in 2011, I was just starting high school when my friend put me onto a little game called League of Legends. And at the time, I didn't really like it. I'm not gonna lie, it looked kind of ass to me.
Ej, ja miałem dokładnie to samo. Jak zaczynałem grać w LoL'a, no sezon pierwszy jeszcze, to też właśnie znajomy z technikum, mówi, dawaj gramy. Ale mówiłem, nie, no tragicznie to wygląda i Dota lepsza. Ale jednak się przekonają, kurczę.
No, not you, Seamus.
Ah, poo.
Keep in mind, I was a Call of Duty player. I was used to just fucking 360 no-scoping and doing crazy shit. Why the fuck would I want to move little guys on a screen? But later, as I got more and more used to the game, I started falling in love with the game. And my first
Candy corn? Mana encrusted apple? Piece of red candy? Ty, to jest sezon chyba jakiś jeszcze... To nie jest drugi sezon na pewno, nie było czegoś takiego.
season that I experienced in its
Jeszcze wardy, które można było kupować w sklepie. Kurczę.
entirety was season 2. Now, to start off the comparison between old League of Legends and new League of Legends, let's start off with the most important queue in my opinion, and that is ranked. Now, the one thing I don't miss about old League of Legends is their rank queue. The rank queue was extremely flawed. Now these days, you guys are able to queue up for the role that you want. Back in old League of Legends, you didn't get that luxury. Back in old League of Legends, we used draft queue, and what that means is that essentially, depending on what pick you get, will determine what role you're going. So let's say, for instance, if you are last pick, you get no rights.
Support.
You are forced to fill.
Znaczy ogólnie kiedyś było tak, że ten kto był najwyżej, ten miał najwyższe elo. Najwięcej, no najwyższą rangę po prostu. No i ten kto był najwyżej, ten miał prawo wyboru swojej roli. I tam niby na czacie pisali jakieś role, ale raczej się nie respektowało tego, że ktoś pierwszy napisał. Takie coś to działało na normalach co najwyżej. Na rankedach zawsze było tak, że po prostu masz pierwszeństwo i tyle.
Zobaczcie! Niesamowita sprawa!
Dzięki ciasta za 29 miesięcy. Nigdy nie wyjdziesz z Elohel? Elohel?
For whatever role that your team doesn't want to play. And of course, it doesn't seem fair now these days to be forced to be autofilled, but everybody was forced to do this. Everybody had to go through this terrible system. And I feel like that's the main reason why I play every single role, because I was literally forced to play every single role in the earlier season.
No ale to wtedy właśnie każdy grał po 2-3 czempiony na każdą rolę. I nie wiem, ja uważam, że było to nawet spoko. Tak naprawdę, że nie było... Znaczy no byli ludzie, którzy coś tam mainowali, ale wtedy często było tak, że miałeś właśnie czempiony na dane role po prostu i grałeś nimi. Nie było takich przypisanych ról, raczej wtedy jeszcze aż tak bardzo, chociaż może już tam zaczynało się w tym drugim sezonie do tego tak podchodzić, ale wcześniej no często było tak, że miałeś po prostu czempiona, którego lubisz grać na danej roli i w ten sposób się grało.
Of League of Legends. And also another thing, if you got first pick, you control every single one of your team's bans.
Mr.
All
Bunny.
three. And of course, the proper
no.
etiquette was to type to your first pick of champions that you wanted to ban. But for the most part, the first pick could do whatever the fuck they want. They could ban Teemo, they could ban Heimerdinger, they could ban whatever the fuck they wanted. They could ban all top lane matchups if they wanted to play top. You had no control and you had no say. And it wasn't absolutely barbaric. Most people
Czyli
did.
wtedy była taka trójca banowania, bo właśnie Shen, Kassadin i kto był jeszcze? Czyli Shen, Kassadin, tak jak tutaj zbanowali właśnie. A jeszcze ktoś był. A Mumu to był? Ty, nie wiem.
Did respect if you typed your role in the chat first, they would usually give you
Kassadin na pewno pamiętam, że miał 90 ponad procent ban ratio. Wszyscy banowali Kassadina.
your role. However, at the end of the day, if I had a pick above you and I OP.GG you and you actually it wasn't even OP.GG back in the day, it was
Lol
Lol
King.
King. If I
Tak,
Lol
tak,
Kinged
tak.
you and you had a worse win rate than me,
Pamiętam, to kurde.
I don't give a fuck what you typed. I'm locking in my champion and I'm playing the game.
Ale wtedy też nie było takiego chyba trollowania, wydaje mi
When
się,
I
że
started this
nie
video,
dostałeś
I
swojej
didn't
roli czy
even
coś.
know how many champions were in League of Legends currently. There's currently 169, including the newest edition, Aurora, but she just got released on live servers as I'm recording this video. Back when Season 2 started, there was only 87 champions in the game, and back in the day, between like Season 1 to Season 2, Riot was just pumping out champion after champion. In Season 2 alone, they released 19 champions, and we're about to
Ja
go
pierdzielę, w jeden rok 19 czempionów, przejdzie to? Kurde, no pamiętam, że niekiedy co 2 tygodnie była nowa postać. Bardzo szybko jej wypuszczali.
over each one of those 19 champions in this video in order, starting with number 1, Volibear. Now, old Volibear was a little bit different than the new Volibear that we have. His old Q used to flip people over his head. His W is pretty much the same. His E was like a little bit of like a knockback. It wasn't very good as I remember, but if you went full AP, you could do some extreme damage.
Przerywało daszem, to było największy plus tego.
You used to be able to shred through people with that ulti. And of course, I can't forget his passive, which would give him 30% of his HP back. After Volibear's release, we have Ahri. Besides a visual upgrade, Ahri is pretty much the same exact kit. Her ultimate got a ultimate reset recently, but other than that, she's pretty much the same champion. And then after Ahri's release, we got Victor, and for Victor, he hasn't really changed in terms of his kit, but his augments and the way he's able to evolve his abilities have changed drastically over time. The only thing I really noticed, especially back in the day, is that his ult was actually kind of scary looking. And before we begin the next section, only about 2% of you guys are subscribed to this channel. If you guys like content like this and want me to do even more, please subscribe to this channel.
Ej, ludzie teraz nie subskrybują w ogóle, nie? Patrzcie, 67 000 wyświetleń, gość ma 2000 subów. To jest porypane trochę. Ale i tak nie dam mu suba.
Get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get to the next part. And after Victor, we have Sejuani. And for Sejuani's kit, it's very similar to what we have live. However, her old W used to swing her fucking flail in the air like a stripper. And for her E, it wasn't even a stun, it was a slow. So if you autoed somebody and then used your E after, it would slow them. It did a lot more damage, but you didn't get a stun, so it was kind of ass. After Sejuani's release, we got Ziggs, and Ziggs has the same exact kit as he does right now, besides his W being able to destroy towers very easily. After Ziggs, we got Nautilus, and Nautilus has the same exact kit down to the minute detail.
Nautilus jak wychodził, to był dżunglerem.
Of course, he's been buffed and nerfed, but the kit itself hasn't changed. And then after Nautilus, we have Fiora, and for Fiora...
Tam był jeszcze Graves w ogóle, czekaj. Graves na AD grany. O, co powoli się to przewija. O, Graves AD carry. Ale piękny, kurde.
We have Fiora, and for Fiora, she's vastly different now than she was back in the day. She was even more brain dead, if you guys can actually believe that. Her Q was point and click, her ultimate was point and click. Her E was pretty much the exact same thing that she does have now. And the ultimate Blade Waltz is the same Blade Waltz that you guys see in Arena now these days. Her W was possibly the worst ability in the game by far, because it was basically like a Jax E that only worked on one auto, and on top of that, it didn't even stun. The only thing it would do is that it would give you extra movement speed, extra attack speed, and it'll prevent you from getting damage from that particular auto attack. So it would be good against like a Nasus Q, but other than that, it's fucking useless. And then after Fiora, we got Lulu, and the Fairy Dust Lady is pretty much the exact same as she is now on live servers. And then after Lulu, we got Hecarim. Hecarim's the exact same as well. Then after Hecarim, we got Darius.
Stary
And for
Galio,
Darius, he
kurde.
did get changed. Old Darius used to have an instant Q cast time, but it didn't heal him for the extra champions that he hit. Then also, his E used to be able to pull people a lot faster than it currently does. And also, his passive was just a really strong bleed. It didn't give him
Darius był turbo OP jak wychodził.
that insane amount of AD when you get fully stacked up. And then right after Darius, we got his
I Draven
brother
też.
Draven, Mr. Axeboy, and his kit is pretty much the exact same as it is right now. But the main
Pasywka
difference is
bojna.
that his old passive was insanely strong. His old passive used to give you insane bleed on every Q or critical attack. So especially late game, 102 damage on every single Q or crit really stacks up compared to the current Draven passive that
Ty, już
we
jest
have
draft. Kurde, ale szybko.
on live servers. And then after Draven, we got Jace, and Jace is the exact same champion as we do have now. And then after Jace, Diana got released, and Diana is virtually the same exact champion. The main difference is that her old ultimate used to be her dash, so she had to wait till level 6 to actually dash, and then her old E got moved to her current ultimate, but her old E did no damage. It would just pull people to the center and slow them, you know? So for Diana now, she has a lot more burst. Old Diana had a lot more DPS. And then after Diana's release, we got Rengar. And the funniest thing with Rengar is that he got reworked twice. So basically, old Rengar is very similar to current day Rengar, but he also got reworked before where his Q was AoE. Yeah, that was really weird, but
No to był tragiczny rework tego Rengara. Kurde, była taka lipa.
old Rengar and current Rengar are pretty much the same. And then after Rengar, Riot Games was on one hell of a streak because they released Syndra. She's really good at handling black balls. I wish she would handle my black balls, but
Okej.
yeah, she's pretty much the exact same. And then after Syndra, we have Kha'Zix, who hasn't changed since season 2, and he's a very popular and well-designed champion. And then we have another bug
Ty,
right
patrz.
after, which is Elise.
Jak mało turet bił w ogóle, widziałeś to? Kurde.
And Elise hasn't really been changed at all. And then for the very last champion, right before season 3, was Zed. And for Zed being one of the most popular champions now these days, it's hard to believe that he wasn't.
Ej, ja pamiętam jak ten Z wychodził, to był taki szał na tego czempiona. No wszyscy po prostu grali Zedem. No kurde, zajebisty był ten Zedzik. To była taka no mega świeża postać.
Released until near the end of season 2. And for Zed, he is the exact same kit. The only difference I would say is that his ultimate used to be able to be QSS, but it wasn't very optimal because it was a magic resist item. And those are the 19 champions that got released
A, jeszcze Varus był, okej.
in season 2. And for season 2, if you guys collect all the 19 champions, only 7 of them have been reworked or changed in a major way, and then the other 12 haven't been changed practically at all, which is not bad for champions that got released about 12 to 13 years ago. Let's explain the other game modes that we had back
Kto zna tego shota? Klasyk. Absolutny klasyk.
in old League of Legends. Starting off, of course, we had Summoner's Rift for
She's the
normals
donkey.
as well as ranked. However, you guys should notice that we don't have a dedicated mode for ARAM. You guys had to create a custom lobby with your friends or other people to join. And also, we didn't even have the map for ARAM at the time, so we used Summoner's Rift, and we would just hope that people fall
Ja jakoś nie grałem za bardzo tych aramów. Pamiętam, że zdarzyło mi się trochę tego pogrywać, ale jakoś nie wkręciłem się w to.
the rules and stay mid. Sometimes people would troll.
Go crazy. Go stupid. Ah!
And for game modes that we actually had, we had Twisted Tree Line, which was a 3v3 mode, and it got removed in late season 9 at the end of 2019. And I felt really bad when it got removed because this was the first game mode I ever played, and I actually grinded to level 30 using Twisted Tree Line because I didn't like Summoner's Rift. I felt like the games were too long. Twisted Tree Line was perfect because I didn't have to worry about 5 other people. The only thing I had to worry about
Shit,
was my
okay.
2 teammates and the enemy team. And lastly, back in the day, we had
Dominion?
Dominion. And this is a game mode a lot of people weren't here for. And I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't very popular, but god damn it, it was a lot of fun. I swear to God, it was fast, it was fun.
It was o, dobra, nawiązanie do tego, okej.
Dominion's pretty fun. It's fast. It's fun.
What do you think about Dominion?
Dominion was awesome. Dominion, it's fast. It's fun.
It was basically like
Jest jakiś stary mem, ja pierdzielę, że ja to jeszcze pamiętam. Masakra. Kurczę, fajnie by jakby takiego Dominiona wrócili. Znaczy, trochę tam to pozmieniać, no ale ogólnie wrzucić taki mod na miesiąc, żeby ludzie sobie pograli. Myślę, że byłoby fajnie. Spoko by to było.
capture the flag or king of a hill game mode where you had 5 different relics that you had to capture, and depending on how many relics you had, you would get even more points. So if you had all 5, the game would end very quickly if the enemy team didn't grab one. And then let's say, for instance, if you have the same amount of relics, the game will be at a standstill because the points will go up. You have to get more relics than your enemy. And the game was only around 15 minutes long, maybe 20 minutes. It could go longer depending on how competitive it was. And some of the most notable champions in this game mode were anyone that was fast, such as Hecarim and Rammus, or anyone with a global travel ability, such as Twisted Fate or Pantheon. Also, the Dominion map was used to play hide and seek, which was a custom game mode that a lot of people enjoyed back in the day. And that's the end of this video, guys.
Ej, nigdy nie grałem w hide and seeka. Nigdy tego nie spróbowałem.
Thank you for watching, guys. Especially for this video, it took a lot of time for me to actually finish it. So if you guys really do enjoy it, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna try to get another video out
Dobra, dam mu tego suba. Fajny był ten film, podobało mu się.
within the next 2 weeks, possibly. But of course, if you want high quality content like this, it takes time. So I appreciate all the people who've been subscribing. The Instagram love has been insane. The TikTok love has been insane. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Fajny film. Ale tak jak mówi, no właśnie robienie takich filmów trochę zajmuje. Trzeba poznajdować, kurde, te wszystkie jakieś klipy ze starych lat. To też nie jest takie proste. Pomontować trzeba. Nie ma lekko.